Hello everyone, Silent K here, and welcome back to the VR Tour series, where we take a look at all the real-world locations from an anime, here in Google Earth VR. Today we'll be starting A Place Further Than the Universe. We will be covering the entire series, so this is your spoiler warning. If you haven't seen the show, go check that out right now. It's an awesome series. If you have seen it, you're probably wondering how this is going to be possible, since the majority of the trip is on an icebreaker on the way to Antarctica, and obviously on Antarctica itself. But don't you worry, I have some surprises lined up which should be interesting. Now this is going to be a three-parter. The first part is going to be all the locations in Tatebayashi, their hometown. The second part is going to be all the places they visit around Japan. And then the third part will be the trip itself to Antarctica. So I have Tatebayashi Station pinned here, just for reference. We'll check that out later. But first, we're going to start at Kimari's house, which is a little bit down the road, right across from this open lot here. We got this curved street, very familiar, looking this way. And here we go. Alright, here we have Kimari's house. They obviously changed quite a bit about this shot. Her house is completely different. The house right next to it is exactly the same. We have the very recognizable shrine in front. The houses to the left and to the right are completely gone. This road here, which is just a normal road, they changed into a bridge across one of those roadside ditches. And we do have the mirror here. There are also shots from this angle, looking down, which are completely different. And we have the little shrine here, which you can't really see inside of. But that is Kimari's house. Alright, and next up we have the school, which there is a school over here, which is probably the intended location of the school from the show, because it's right next to the park that they hang out. But the school is actually modeled after a school in a different city, so we'll check that out later. For now, we'll go here, Azalea Hill Park, where there's a very familiar covered bench. And that's the shot I'm looking for. We got a fellow fan repping the series. I salute you, sir. And we got this lovely bench here. The only wide shot is from way down on this path, though. You can see it up there on the hill. And we can also see it from the back. And the water across the way. Lovely little park. Alright, and next we have the Lawson convenience store where Hinata works at, which is about 3 blocks northeast of the station, right here. Bunch of solar panels on the roof, very easy to find. So we got a shot of the front. A very typical Lawson. We got it right up against another building here. And across the street, you can see some of the other buildings. This one with the curved front and the red with windows. This concrete and brick one, and the other brick one with the shutters. And in one episode, we have Shirase and Kimari walking down the street here. And they cross in front of the Lawson. That's when they're talking about going to Antarctica, and Hinata overhears them. In the background, you can see this business here. In the anime it says Gureko. In real life it says Kogure. And in the anime there's a bunch of buildings here. And I was going to make a point of it being torn down recently because the street view is from October of last year. And the satellite photograph showed a bunch of old buildings here. But they must have updated it since I did my research. Either that or there's a difference between the desktop version and Google Earth VR because the buildings aren't here. So that point is not able to be made. I can show the picture from my research, but that's all for that. Next, we're on to the Royal Hotel where Yuzuki is staying at, which is the Tatebayashi Grand Hotel in reality. And that's right here. Alright, very distinctive building with the balconies on one side and the roof cutting away multiple times. And from the side we can see the entrance pretty well with the trash can and the plants. Across the street is completely different though. You can see there's a canal here. Maybe they just thought it didn't look good enough, so they spruced it up and made it look like a city street or something. Alright, and our last location for this area is Tatebayashi Station. Now, the first 2 times I watched this series, I thought that Kimari took the train to school, because in the first episode, one of the first things you see is her planning to ditch school, and she says, "I'm going to take the train in the opposite direction." So I thought she took the train to school and she was just going to ditch by going in the opposite direction she normally goes. And then to make matters worse, at the end of the episode, after she goes to school, they show her taking the train home. But what she actually did was visit Megu after school, and we didn't see that, and she was taking the train home from there. So researching this has taught me a lot about the layout of the show, which is actually kind of interesting. So Tatebayashi Station. This is where she goes when she's leaving to go see Megu or somewhere else. Not where she goes to school. She just walks to school a couple blocks down the road. Alright, Tatebayashi Station. Very distinctive building with a multi-tiered roof and the arched window over here. And Kimari is coming from further over here. You can see these trees in the foreground. And a little bit over here, we can see this guy in one of the title cards. Many Tanuki statues in this series. And then we can go inside the building. The whole thing has 360 photos throughout. Alright, so we have the sign here with the clock in the middle and the gates beyond. We can see Kimari going through these gates. And I think we can see this little machine in one shot. And over here we can see the benches overlooking the tracks. The shot is actually from down this way a little bit. Right around there. And then we have another shot of Kimari on the platform, which seems to be a composite shot. This is from when she was planning to ditch school. Alright, so down here we have this sign for the elevator. And there are a few of these around the platforms pointing to this elevator, but this is the only one that looks like the screenshot. But from another angle we can also see that she's standing next to a staircase. But there's no staircase here. There is a staircase right here, going up and to the right. And in the background we can also see some bars, which maybe the artist expanded into the foreground to fill in the area. I have no idea. They also added a door here for some reason. I don't know. I looked around all the platforms, that's the only thing I can think of. And from here we're heading south to Morinji Station, right here. This is where Megu and Shirase live, and it's also where the Tanuki Shrine is. Hinata does take this train, but she heads further south to get home. So the first shot is from an angle around here. So we got the station here, we got some chairs outside, and this white building next to it. Out front, we got these little Tanuki guys here. We can also see the gates from here and the building behind it. And inside we can see the drink machine and the stairs heading up and around to the other platform. This is where Shirase drops her money. Alright, and right around the corner we have Morinji Temple, which is where the girls hang out, and you see all the Tanuki statues right here. The entrance is down this side. So we have the entrance here, Very lovely. And they don't show it in the anime, but they have a shop here. If you ever need any testicle raccoon merchandise, they got you very well covered. And these are all the statues. They show a couple close-ups of them. We got this tall skinny guy here, this short chubby one here, and this guy with the coat and the stick. Ugh. I don't know what's with the turtle ones. They all look like they've seen some shit. We got the benches here that they're always sitting at. In the back you can also see these trees with the fences around them. And this trellis here. A little further on we have the main temple. We have a signpost here. A little shack. And to the left we can also see a shrine that Hinata prays at one point. We can't actually get any closer to that one. Lovely. Alright, and our final location is in Kiryu, where we have the high school that the one in the show is modeled after, which is right here. The entrance is right over here. Alright, we have the main entrance here, blue fence with the 2 large letters on it, and the school in the background. Crosswalk here. And not a lot of external shots of the school, but we do have this one, where we can see them under a covered walkway. There's a clock in the distance, and an athletic field. So that's right there. And that is it for the locations in and around Tatebayashi. In the next video we'll be taking a look at the places they journey around Japan. And in the final video we'll be going to Antarctica. Hope you enjoyed the video, thank you for watching, please tune in again next time.